Hey, this is Justin with DayTradeTheMarkets.com, and the purpose of this very brief video is to give you just a quick overview of what this site's all about, how it works, what you'll get, how it's priced, and so forth. So, if you don't mind, just give me a couple minutes of your time right now. I think you'll be able to determine if this is something, if this is something you could benefit from, and if it's something that you want to explore further. So, I guess quickly first, let me just introduce myself so that you can at least get a visual on whose voice is coming through your speakers right now. I won't go into great depth about myself right here, but know that I do have another video and another section on the site that talks about my story, why I'm doing this, and so forth. So, because I do know that from speaking with a lot of traders over the years that my story is very similar to what a lot of you might have gone through or might be going through right now. So, with that said, you may find that interesting. So, real quickly, what is this all about? This is, and who's this for? This is for day traders who are looking for a simple, step-by-step kind of A through Z methodology. And ultimately, what you're going to be doing is learning the true, what I call the true skill of trading, or the natural law of trading, if you will. And this is something that if you get right, day after day, trade after trade, you literally can't fail. And I love the images that you'll see on the next couple of slides because I think they really get to the heart of some of the key, really important points that we'll be talking about. You know, you can see from these two images here that these are different road conditions. The road on the left there, you're going to be able to drive as fast as you want and be safe. The road on the right, you better drive a lot differently. You better not drive 80 miles an hour on a curvy, icy mountain road. That can be very deadly to you as a driver. And we intuitively know that. But what happens in trading is that most of us, at least when we're beginning, certainly, we don't understand or at least know how to recognize these different conditions. So we try to trade the same way in all market conditions. And this is something that's just as deadly, metaphorically speaking, to you as a trader. So that's one of the big keys, is that you're going to learn to really understand the market and understand the condition the market's in. And another image that I really like is this image of a tiger waiting to hunt and eat. This is very different than how humans eat 3 meals a day. A tiger doesn't chase everything they see. If they chase everything they see all day long, they're not going to catch anything and they're going to be exhausted. What tigers do is they just lay low, conserve energy, and wait for kind of the easy meal, a great opportunity. When they have that, they pounce and they gorge. When there is not a great opportunity, they just lay low. And that's the same thing with trading. If we're chasing the market all day long, it's not going to work out. Our broker's going to get rich, but we're certainly not. So that's another key component that we'll be talking about, is how to really understand what you're seeing and know when it makes sense to take a trade and when it doesn't. And very briefly, kind of some of the ideas that we'll talk about. I mentioned this with the road image there. We're going to really understand how the market works. Why does it go up? Why does it go down? Why is it consolidating? Why is it in a vertical mode right now? What are we looking for? How would we know when that changes, and so forth? We want to be able to also see this in real time. We do that with a tool called relative aggression bars. This is something we invented a few years back, and I think that you'll absolutely love this tool. Obviously, I'm biased, but I can't imagine trading without aggression bars at this point. And we hear that a lot from people that we work with. I'll have another video that goes into depth about this. I just want to again do an overview, kind of in a nutshell, what this is all about. From there, though, this is a technique that I'm going to teach you. This is something I've been doing in my personal trading for several years now, and it's an idea I call box theory. It's, instead of looking at the day as a whole, I break it down into smaller pieces, smaller playing fields, if you will, and it really helps you make sense or put the market in context for the day. Boxes are kind of like a chapter, where the whole day is like a book. So instead of trying to swallow the whole book, we're looking at it chapter by chapter. It makes things a lot easier to make sense of. From there, then, you're going to learn a lot of different high edge, high expectancy trade setups each day. But again, just like that tiger image I talked about earlier, showed earlier, you don't want to take every trade that you see. That's a definite way to fail. What we want to do is understand when it makes sense to take a trade and when it makes sense to pass on a trade, and when it makes sense to be more aggressive on a trade and when it makes sense to be less aggressive on a trade. And the way that I do this, and people I've taught this to really love this idea, is I actually have a 1 to 10 scale where I score the trade quality. So the 7, 8, 9, and 10 means that we have a pretty darn good opportunity with really limited risk. Anything below that means that either the risk is too high for the opportunity or the opportunity is not good enough for the risk. So that's something I'll talk about in more depth in another video. Obviously, we want to learn to manage our trades more effectively as well, so that when we do decide to take a trade, we want to, if we have a losing situation, we want to minimize the dollar loss and make that as small of a loser as possible. And when the winning trades do come, we want to maximize those gains on those winning trades. Again, it's the idea of putting the market into context with the boxes, identifying trade opportunities, scoring them so that we know which ones are higher expectancy and which are lower expectancy. And then we want to be able to put it all together, and a lot more goes into that in terms of account management, mental management, and a lot of other factors. But we need a cohesive, step-by-step, complete trading plan so that you know what to do at every situation. You're not kind of trading in a panic state. You know what you're going to do when every situation that arises throughout a day comes up. And so hopefully that makes sense. Again, more details throughout the site, but I just want to give you that overview in terms of what you're going to get very briefly, and again, more on this as well. Full use of the software so that you can have the aggression bars and see things, what's really going on under the surface in real time. Full education in terms of learning the box theory, how the trade entries and exit strategies, how to score trades, and so much more. But that's from A to Z. Full access to what I call the daily market assistant, which is basically an overview of the bigger picture of the market, kind of a game plan, what to look for the next day as well. Full access to live market sessions as well, so that we're not just, and I do this many times per week, it's not just theory and you're kind of on your own. We're talking about real-time application and understanding what we're seeing in real time so that we can discuss the various decisions and implications of those decisions that we have to make throughout the day, so that you really are learning this skill that you take with you the rest of your career. Full service, ongoing support, anything you need, there for you. And I know it's an intangible, but a real true commitment to your success. It's not just something where I'm trying to sell you a product and then you're on your own. Again, it's the same idea. And along with that, and kind of piggybacking on that point, let's talk about how this is priced. This is at a low monthly price. It's a limited membership. The idea is that I'm not trying to just sell you something. I'm no salesman. I'm not trying to just sell you some big ticket package for thousands of dollars and then leave you on your own and go sell to someone else. It's not my thing. What I'm trying to do is create a thriving community of like-minded traders who work together, help each other out. And the idea here with the low monthly price is that you don't, your risk is very, very limited. You do well on one trade, it pays for itself with ease, and you're going to get great value. You're going to see that it's doing what you need it to do, or you're going to quit, So I'm not, again, trying to just sell you something. This is something where I have confidence in this, and so I can price it in this way. So I hope that makes sense in those terms as well. And then also, I do think it's important that we talk about who this is for and who it's not for. This is certainly not for everyone. It's not a great fit for everyone, but there are people that are really going to thrive with this idea. So a quick thing to look at is, are you relatively intelligent, or are you, and kind of open-minded and willing to kind of explore the puzzle of the market, or are you more of a robotic black and white type thinker? There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just not a good fit for this. Are you, someone who's doing this as a hobby and hopes to make it, or are you someone who is, incredibly serious about this, treats this like a business, committed to being absolutely the best trader you can be? Again, are you open-minded and willing to learn, or are you someone that already knows it all and just turns their brain off? Are you someone who is reasonable in terms of your expectations? In other words, you can do very well in this business, but if you think that you're going to trade 5 minutes a day and hit 95% of your winners and retire by next week, that's not a reasonable expectation. So just, again, if you fall more on the right side of the slide here, probably not a good fit. If you're more on the left side of the slide, I really think it probably is a good fit for you. And finally, in terms of what the next step is or what you should do next, if this is not for you, that's fine, no problem. If you want more info, certainly at a minimum, join the mailing list. Also, there's a lot of other content on the site, more information breaking down each of these pieces step by step. And don't hesitate to shoot an email, ask a question, whatever the case may be. Now, if you're ready to get going, awesome. I think you're going to be happy that you did, and I would love to work with you. And really, I think that you'll be blown away with what you receive. And once again, the way that it's priced, the risk is so minimal. I'm trying to make this something where you have such little risk on the front end that it's just something that you should dive into if this is something that's intriguing to you at all. So if you have any other questions, please just shoot an email, info@DayTradeTheMarkets, or go to the site and check it out. Otherwise, I would love to work with you, and I hope to speak with you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.